Alrighty. Well, my name is Crystal White. I am the Deputy Director here with the Office of Equal Opportunity, OEO for short. Angela, you can move over to the next slide, please. So we are a very small yet mighty team, fully staffed. We are a team of 7 right now. There is just 6 of us. But again, we are small but mighty. Next slide, Angela. So a little bit about OEO. So OEO exists to promote diversity within the state's workforce and to improve opportunities for minority, women, and service-disabled veterans to access employment and opportunities on state contracts. OEO also works to ensure that there is no discrimination against any person on the account of their race, color, religion, national origin, sex, ancestry, age, sexual orientation, veteran status, or disability, anything like that. Not only in employment practices, but also in the provision of services and the operation of our state facilities. We are responsible for monitoring all 17 departments of the executive branch of state government by assisting them to ensure equal employment opportunities, as well as to ensure that they are basically in compliance with all employment and anti-discrimination laws. So our office is housed within the Office of Administration, and we are defined by 2 executive orders, Executive Order 1024 and 1506. Next slide. So our vision and mission, and I'll kind of summarize it. Our vision is pretty long, but basically OEO's vision is to cultivate a diverse and inclusive environment for all Missourians, as well as promote a talented workforce that reflects the diversity of the citizens of Missouri. So basically, we want a workforce that represents the diversity of Missouri. And our mission is to champion career opportunities for all individuals and to encourage the utilization of minority, women, and service-disabled veteran-owned businesses on state contracts. So those are 2 of our main focuses here in OEO. Next slide. I will hand it over to Kim.
Thanks, Crystal. Hello, everyone. So on this slide here, the purpose of the Workforce Diversity Program is to enhance the state's effort to provide equal employment opportunity, eliminate barriers, and improve workforce diversity, accessibility, inclusion, and a sense of belonging. The resources below are all available on the OEO webpage on the resources tab. And we won't click on any of these today, but you all are welcome to check these out on our website. It is just a plethora of information and resources, both for employees and for departments and supervisors that just really kind of details basically what our office provides as far as resources and accessibility. And then on the next page, this is just 2 of the celebrations that our office puts on for the state. So our office serves on statewide committees addressing workforce diversity and inclusion. We publish articles in the Office of Administration's monthly circular, and we publish a new newsletter, the monthly Workforce Diversity Matters newsletter, and we have a quarterly supplier diversity newsletter. And so these 2 events here are just 2 of the events that we're working on right now. The Black History Month celebration takes place in February. The Veterans Day celebration will happen this fall, and we are hosting the first ever National Diversity Employer Awareness Month celebration that'll take place in October. And so now I'll turn it over to Angela. Angela is going to take over the rest of our presentation. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yep, my name is Angela Lenzicki. I am the office's business liaison. I'll start off by saying I mentioned to John earlier before everybody hopped on, but we do offer monthly presentations kind of summarizing the information I'm about to get into, and those slide decks are actually posted on our website along with all of the links to the resources we have in this presentation today. So of course, on every slide, you can see the address for our website. You can go there and access any of this information at your leisure. So no worries, you're not missing out on anything. But I am in charge of educating our certified vendors regarding supplier diversity resources, as well as conducting a portion of our application process. The purpose of our MBE, WBE, and STVE certifications is to have utilization of smaller minority and women-owned businesses and service disabled veteran-owned businesses within statewide contracts. And so in order to be certified as an MBE, WBE, or STVE, we have a few requirements. Of course, you have to be a for-profit business and to have your primary offices located in the state of Missouri. If your primary office is located outside of Missouri State, however, you do business within Missouri quite often, there is a possibility you are still eligible. However, that is a different application process that I'll get into later. You have to be, of course, registered with the Secretary of State's office. And if you are applying for the Service Disabled Veteran certification, you would have to provide us with the letter from the Veterans Affairs Office stating that you are of Service Disabled Veteran status. And then you have to hold the highest official position within the company that you are trying to receive certification for, such as CEO, president, owner, that kind of title. And you also have to at least own 51% of the company's stocks or ownership. So you can own more, but you cannot own less. All right, so of course, MBE and WBE stand for Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprise certifications, and then SDVE is for our Service Disabled Veteran Enterprise certifications. The SDVE application process we have taken over from our Division of Purchasing within the past year. We don't have an automated process for those applications quite yet. We are working on that and kind of combining it with our online portal for MBE and WBE applications, but for now it is a manual process. So under supplier diversity on our website, there is a link to find more information about SDVE certifications, as well as get the PDF form of the application itself. And then you would email us the application as well as the supporting documentation to submit your application for review, whereas MBE and WBEs are able to submit their applications electronically through our application portal. So we offer two kinds of certifications. The standard certification that we offer are for any business that is eligible for an MBE or WBE that is able to provide us at least 3 years of tax documentation. And that means, that kind of qualifies you to receive the 3-year-long certification. So say you were certified today, August 6th, your MBE or WBE would not expire until August 6th of 2027. If you are a newer business owner and you are not able to provide those 3 years of tax documentation, or you have just acquired ownership within the business, we do offer 1-year provisional certifications. So instead of the 3 years, you would be certified for simply 1 year. And that is just to kind of keep in track with you and check in with you within a year to see if any changes have occurred, and to kind of review again to see if you were still eligible before we issue that standard 3-year-long certification. So this is our portal for the MBE WBE certification application. You would create your email and password, and it would take you to the portal to fill out all recertification applications, all annual updates, and also kind of provide you a little bit more links and information regarding our certification system, as well as updating your UNSPSC codes that are linked to your business. So you can update all of this information at any time, and you can kind of check the status of your application in the approval process as well through this account. So again, our STVE applications are manual. They are not through the portal. So this is a screen grab from what the icons look like on our website under Supplier Diversity Resources. You would download the application, complete it, and email us the supporting documentation. We do require your DD-214, your VA letter, as well as your Secretary of State registration. Those are the only supporting documentations that we require for the STVE. It is quite more in depth for the MBE and WBE. However, because we have just acquired that process, we're still kind of working to work out the kinks, but for now, that is what we require. Okay, so in addition to our 3-year certification versus our provisional 1-year-long certification, if you are applying for the first time as an initial applicant, there are 2 ways to apply. We have the standard application process, which has 4 basic steps. The acceptance review, which is where a specialist will look at all of your application and all of the documentation and kind of go back and forth with you if you're missing any paperwork that we would need to determine eligibility. After that, when we have reviewed and made sure that we have all of the information necessary, you'll go on to desk review, which is where we kind of assess the documentation that you submitted. And then on-site review, we go to your place of business, and we meet with you and all other business owners and kind of perform more of an interview, making sure that everything is good to go before we send you over to the final review stage and issue the final determination. In all, the standard application processing time takes from 30 days to 90 days, and those are calendar days, not business days. Right now, we have been able to kind of expedite that process for you. We have a extremely fast processing time in comparison to other periods in the past, but that may not always stay the same. But we do understand that utilizing MBE and WBE certifications are important in contracting and bidding and things like that. So we're always trying to work to be prompt with our reviews of applications. Speaking of expediting, we do offer a rapid application as well. So I mentioned at the beginning that if you do not hold primary offices within the state of Missouri and you do business with the state of Missouri and you would like to be certified through our state, it is possible that you could be eligible for a rapid application. So what you would need in that situation is if you are certified through your home state, you would provide us with all of the necessary supporting documentation that is required with the standard application, as well as that certification from that outside agency. And we have the ability to contact that agency directly and receive some additional documentation from that agency in order to expedite your application. So we actually can skip the on-site portion and go straight from desk review to final review. And that is because they provide us with that on-site documentation. So there is a possibility that we are not able to get in touch or receive that on-site documentation from that outside agency. So just be mindful of that. Even if you on paper may seem eligible for rapid applications, there could be some hiccups and you would have to come back in through a standard application, just depending on what agency you are certified through. But most agencies outside, or excuse me, state agencies for bordering states, as well as private agencies or other certifying entities within the state of Missouri, if you are able to provide us with that certification and they're willing to work with us, you would be eligible for a rapid application processing time. And that would kind of cut that down from 30 to 90 calendar days to 30 days and under. So maintaining your certification. Again, if you are eligible for that standard 3-year-long certification, we do have 2 gap years where we require some information for you or from you. So say you're certified today, August 6th, an annual update application would be due by August 6th of 2025, as well as August 6th of 2026. An annual update's purpose is simply because if you are certified through our program, you're automatically inputted to our public-facing directory. This is where your UNSPSC codes are uploaded, your commodities and services, the location of your business, of course, your name, and all of the contact information that's necessary. And so the purpose of the annual update is for you to get a chance to change any or update any information that could be out there publicly. That way, if someone does utilize our public directory, they have the correct information in order to contact you if they're interested in working with you. And also get a chance to receive any additional information if something were to change within the structure of your business within the past year since you have been certified. So, say I'm certified and I want to sell some of my ownership to a business partner of mine. However, I'm still majority owner, so I went from 100 to 75% owner. I would report that in my annual update, and that way we're able to kind of get that documentation and stay up to date with where your business is growing and taking you, and also just all of the tax documentation, having that paper trail, if you will. And then at the end of the 3 years, you would, of course, recertify. So for the annual update, you simply fill out the application unless you have any structural changes to report, and that's when you would send us the supporting documentation that's required. But for recertification, because it only lasts for 3 years, it is a simpler process than when you initially apply. However, we do require some supporting documentation as well. So those 3 years of tax documentation, of course, your Secretary of State registration and your recertification affidavit. Now, if you are a provisional certification or have a provisional certification, then you would just immediately skip to recertification applications that following year. But if you are able to provide us enough tax documentation, then most likely we would recertify you as a standard, and then you would kind of go back to that original process. So, as I stated on the last slide, those applications are due by the anniversary date of receiving your certification. We do, through that portal, send you email notifications 60 days and 30 days prior to whatever that application is due. So next year, if you're due for an annual update or recertification, you would receive an email in July and in June, reminding you to submit that application as soon as you can. That way we have ample processing time to get that approved and submitted before your certification lapses. And that way you're able to utilize your certification through the deadline. And there's no kind of gap. However, if you do accidentally forget to submit an application that we require by that deadline, we'd have what's called a suspension period. I like to think of it more as a year-long grace period. So unfortunately, if you do fall into suspension, you are not able to utilize your MBE or WBE on any contracts. Your certification falls inactive and you are removed from our public directory. However, you are not removed from our system. So as long as you are able to get us that annual update or recertification that's required, you are automatically reinstated and you're back on the public directory and you can utilize those certifications. However, if you do not submit us that application within that year grace period, you would then be decertified. And that is when you're completely removed from our system. And if you are interested in being an MBE or WBE certified business, again, you would have to come through our application system as if you had never been certified before. So that's when you would have to do the on-site again, provide us with all of the original documentation. And it's just tedious. So that's why we have that year gap in between to kind of give you some leeway. All right, so stay connected. Again, all of these links are provided to you on our website. But these are some very, very good resources that may be beneficial for you if you are looking to work with the state in any capacity, such as like a subcontractor, or just need some help navigating, you know, business loan opportunities, grants opportunities. That is, you know, all here for you. We want to be there for you as much as we can. Missouri BIES is a good place to start if you are certified as a MBE or WBE. Missouri BIES is managed by our Division of Purchasing, which houses all of our statewide contracts. So if you're interested in working with the state of Missouri in any capacity through procurement opportunities, Missouri BIES is where to go. You would simply register and you would receive email notifications for any contracts that pertain to the UNSPSC codes that are linked to your business. You could have access to the active bid board and the open bid board. So the active bid board is all of the contracts and their prime contractors that are actively working on a contract or a project. Whereas our open bid board, that's for you to kind of browse and see if you are interested in bidding on any of the RFPs posted. We also have our FMDC bid board as well. FMDC is for Facilities Management, Design, and Construction. So if any of you are in the renovation, construction, restoration business, you may find a little bit more opportunities for bidding and contracting on their bid board instead of Missouri BIES. We do have to have those projects separated out and on different sides of the site simply because it is separate funding. So if that is kind of more your wheelhouse, I would check FMDCs first. However, you would still need to be registered in Missouri BIES because if you were to win a bid on a contract and be doing work for the state, in order to receive payment for the work that you do, that would come through Missouri BIES. So even if you found the opportunity on FMDC's bid board, Missouri BIES is still necessary for you to kind of be in touch with. Again, our Division of Purchasing's homepage is on here. They house all of our statewide contracts. They're very, very good at giving you more information regarding any pre-bid meetings, getting you in touch of the procurement officer that's in charge of monitoring MBE and WBE participation on a specific contract. They can answer any of your questions about the required documentation that they need in order for you to submit a bid, when the bid deadlines are, that kind of stuff. So they're there to help as much as they can. The last one I will mention is one that a lot of our vendors have given us a lot of positive feedback about. It's Missouri Apex Accelerator. So it's not actually a state agency. They're under Mizzou's extension program, excuse me. And because they're not a state agency, they have a little bit more flexibility and leeway when it comes to giving you business advice. So any state agency that, you know, you work with, They, of course, have to remain non-preferential in the procurement world. So a lot of the resources and information that we can offer as a blanket statement, simply because we can't sit shoulder to shoulder with you and kind of give you direct business advice that's unique to what your goals are. However, Apex Accelerator can. A lot of their services are free. You can sit with a consultation or a consult. They can help you fill out a bid. They can help you navigate other certifying entities if you're interested in receiving additional certifications outside of ours. They can help you fill out those applications and kind of lay out a business plan and kind of identify what goals you have for your business and work with you to kind of get you there. So they're a really, really good resource for you. And even though they're under Mizzou's extension program, they have offices throughout the state. So they have, I believe the one in Kansas City is on UMKC's campus, and then the one in St. Louis is on UMSL's campus, I believe. So just because they're part of Mizzou, they have satellite offices where you would be able to connect with someone that's in your region of the state, which is really cool too. And I lied, there's one more agency that I thought would be helpful for you guys. That is the Department of Economic Development. So similar to Apex Accelerator, however, they're more on the capital side of business growth rather than procurement. So they can point you in the right direction of any small business loan offices, banks that are willing to work with you, and any grant opportunities that you may be interested in. And they can help you fill out those applications. And again, they also have regional engagement specialists that are specialized in your area of the state. So that's really, really helpful too. All right, so here is all of our basic contact information. I've been talking a lot through a lot of information at you, so I'll open it up to questions if you guys have any. I have the chat open, or you can come off mic and ask us any questions that you may have about our office, about certifying, entities, our certification program. Is there anything that I can help you with?
Yeah, Angela, is that the number you would like people to call right there?
Yes, that is our main line. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it best to call or send email, or what? How do you prefer contact?
Either or. We are if it's kind of a quick question, I would suggest calling just to get someone on the phone easier, especially if it's time sensitive. But we do answer our emails within the day as well. So either one for sure.
Okay, thank you. And I see you got your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and Twitter X or whatever it is, and it's like Instagram there. So very nice.
Yes. Yes, we have a fantastic intern this summer, Mia, who is specializing in digital marketing and media. So she's been helping us kind of keep in touch with all of the social media and kind of boosting them because they've laid neglected for the past couple of years. So she's been doing awesome, keeping everyone up to date on all of the events we attend, all of the pictures and projects that we've been working on. So we are active on there now, which is really, really great.
Well, that's great. Yeah, it does make it easier if you got a few different ways.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I know we personally ran into you at the Small Business Expo in St. Charles there. So that was really good. You guys get out. Yeah, we met Kim there, and she's real helpful to get this all set up. We really appreciate this.
Yeah, no, she did a great job. She loves manning the booth and meeting new people. So if you see us around, it'll likely be Kim. I attend a few, Crystal attends a few, but she loves getting out there and meeting you guys. So yeah, any other questions, comments, concerns?
I got a question.
There you go.
Yes, about the disability letter eligibility. Is there a certain percentage on that disability letter that you require?
And percentage of ownership?
Yes, Because like I'm a veteran myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then when those letters come out, like with the letters, they got certain people that has disability, certain percentages on there.
Oh,
Like
no.
5%, if you're 10% on disability, 15%, 20%.
Right, right. Okay. So,
So there's some people, like, you know, if you go to agencies, they require. Go
yeah,
ahead.
as far as I know, we do not look at that percentage. As long as the VA recognizes that you are a service disabled veteran, not simply a veteran, that DD 214 would point us to be, or point you out to be eligible for an SDVE. We don't necessarily pay attention to what kinds of disabilities or percentages of disability that they kind of write out in that letter. We're just looking to see if you are registered as a service disabled veteran. All right, any other questions? No? Well, that's more than fine. Again, you have all of our contact information. I hope you found something useful out of our presentation today. Thank you so much, John, for having us on. If you guys don't have anything else that you need from me, then I will kind of sit back and let John take over.
Thank you so much, Angela, and I appreciate Crystal and Kim also coming in. I think you did a great job explaining it, and thank you for letting us share the replay too, because we will put the recording up, and I know some people that reached out to me and wanted to know because they couldn't make it today. And this is very helpful, and this is something I personally didn't even know that was, you know, available to a lot of the people. And just by looking through some of the, like, I was impressed with you could go there, how easy it was to find the bid processes and things like that. So anybody that's on here, I would encourage you to go ahead and get the information. And if it's okay, I'll share what Kim sent to me the other day. We have, you know, it explains a little better, but your website does a good job also. So
Perfect.
really
I'm
appreciate
so
it.
glad to
Anybody have
hear
any
it.
other question? This is a good time to ask them right here. And if not, we do really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next expo or the next time you tune in here.
All
So,
right. Well,
thank you.
perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.